welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be using some very reasonably priced pallets that I found at a store we have here in our area, along with a couple of other items. I'm just going to do a very simple but unique summer look using some rosy tones. As you can tell, my face is already prepped. I have already used my e.l.f. Daily Moisturizer. I have used my Wet n Wild Photo Finish Primer. I have used the e.l.f. Setting Spray. And then I also wanted to go ahead and give the BH Cosmetics Foundation a try again. After I did my last video, including this foundation, I did kind of just go ahead and take it off because I wasn't going anywhere for the rest of the day. So I do want to actually wear this while I'm out and about, get hot, get sweaty, and things like that, running errands in town, to actually see how it physically holds up on my face. So I am going to go ahead and give this another try. I do think that the tone is too light for my face. However, I think that it does provide a very smooth and matte finish if it will hold up, especially with the heat outside. I did use the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro pressed powder for my finishing powder. I went ahead and did my brows, which I used the Benefit Give Me Brow Pomade, and then I have prepped my eyes with the e.l.f. Primer. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this today. So we have a store near us. I don't know where all else this store is located at, but we have a store near us called Five Below, and it's kind of like an upscale dollar store. So I picked up several palettes from there, I'm not gonna lie. This is the palette I'm using today. It's called The Bloom, In Bloom, and it's just their brand. It is Color Story. That seems to be their brand of makeup that they carry. This palette was $5. And as you can see, it is going to be like florals and things of that nature. Here's the actual palette itself. Some really pretty colors in there. So this is what we're going to be using to do our eyes. So I do just want to do a very generic, using these rosy colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and use this Lotus color right here. And this is going to be my transition shade. I'm going to go in and use my really fluffy brush so that I can move it around as needed. There's not a lot of fallout. So hopefully it will stay on really, really well. And guys, anytime you are using a transition shade that you want to stay evident, like let's say if you're going to do a costume makeup and you want red, white, and blue. So you're going to take that white transition shade up just a little bit farther than you normally would so that you still have a good foundation of that transition color, okay? So again, there's not a lot of fallout on this. It's going on really smoothly. The pigment is pretty good. I mean, it's not exceptionally dark, but I also didn't select it because it was supposed to be exceptionally dark. Really smooth. And these are also fall colors as well. I just thought that it was, the packaging was pretty neat. And that's... So I will say this, that's one of the downfalls to shopping at Five Below, is because their packaging, especially on their makeup, is so awesome. You just feel like you need it. Like, I didn't need these palettes that I bought, but I felt like I did because they were so pretty. So their packaging is usually pretty on. So I'm going to go in with this Cherry Blossom right here, and I'm going to do the inner lid. This has more fallout than the Lotus color did, and it's a very bubblegum pink on my brush, so we'll see what this looks like. Again, I'm doing the inner part of my lid. You're just going to blend it into that crease, go about midway. And guys, again, it's just like I've said 20 million times, you know, you own this. You know, if you want more pink and less brown, then do more pink and less brown. If you want to do one shade on your lid, one transition shade and one shimmer on the top, then do it. I'm just more or less product testing when I do colors like this, because even though pink and purple are my two favorite girly colors, that's not going to be something that I wear on a regular basis. Again, the pigment is still really good with this for it to be a $5 palette. So I'm going to go in with the Zinnia. It's a brighter a brighter pink. See if it does anything for the outside. On my brush, this looks almost magenta. So let's see if we can get a little color pop going on for the outside of the lid. Yeah, there's a little bit there. I mean, the pigment for this to be a $5 palette is good. I mean, I've never had any trouble with anything that I have bought from there makeup-wise. It definitely doesn't hurt my face. I've never had any trouble with anything like that. They do have some interesting palettes as well. And the most that you're ever going to pay for anything there is going to be $5. Hence the name. I always keep my powder brush handy. That way, if there is a lot of fallout, I can go ahead and take care of that after I get it on my eye. Because if you're using bright colors or dark colors, do not try to wipe that off with your hand, because it will embed in your foundation and it will not come off. So I'm going to go in with the Calla Lily color. It is a shimmer to do my brow line with. There is more fallout with this, but it is a shimmer color, and most of the time shimmer colors do have more fallout than matte colors do, just because of their composition. But overall, I'm liking this palette. I mean, in my opinion, there is about 3 different tiers of makeup. You have your bottom shelf, your middle shelf, and your top shelf. Your bottom shelf is going to be like literally Dollar Tree makeup, unheard of brands. Even though they do carry LA colors, I'm talking about the brands that you've never heard of, don't really work well, but will work in a pinch situation. The middle shelf is going to be things like this. Cheap, affordable, but they work. In my personal opinion, I would say that middle shelf cosmetics such as e.l.f., BH Cosmetics, and things of that nature also fall into that line. Now, when I put them in tiers like that, I am by no means looking at just the price point. I'm looking at how they work. And then, of course, you have your highest tier, which is going to be Benefit, Stila, MAC, Jeffree Star, things like that. In other words, the top of the top that work and do the best that it possibly can. But this palette, I'm really happy with this palette. It is in Bloom. And like I said, I don't know if there is Five Belows like all across the United States. I just know of the one that we have here. So I'm not exactly sure if there is a lot of those across the way or not. I do not have any new eyeliner to try, so I'm just going to go back to the Budge Proof e.l.f. just to kind of finish this look out. Now, Five Below also does carry Wet n Wild things as well. I don't know if Wet n Wild maybe makes some of their palettes that are under their particular brand or not. I haven't done excessive research on it. But the brand that you would know the most would definitely be Wet n Wild. And they do carry quite a bit of their stuff. And to be honest with you, with the exception of literally just a couple of things, if I'm being completely honest with you, they're priced about the same as they are in a department store. So I'm going to take my LA Color White Matte and do my underline. open my eye up just a little bit because I did use that pink. The next thing that I bought at Five Below that I'm kind of intrigued to try is, I don't remember if everybody particularly remembers that fad with the mascara that went through that, you had to do two different mascaras. You had to have the white, which was supposed to be like a primer and a plumper, and then you had the black. So they actually had a set. It is called... the same brand as this. It is Color Company Superhero Duo. This is what the box looks like. It has the white and the black in it. I paid $3 for both of these. So I'm going to try it and actually see if there is any difference. So here's the white. This again is from Five Below. I paid $3 for it. Well, so the white is going to be a complete bust. This tube, okay, so there is no directions of any kind whatsoever. This white tube is empty. I think that it must have been some type of fiber something, because it looks like there is fibers falling out, but it is completely dry. There is nothing that I can possibly put on my eyeshadow out of that. It feels completely empty too. I've never had that happen before. But this is a huge, huge tube of mascara, and there is something in this. This is the black. So I guess my theory, or my test of my theory, is out the window. But I am going to go ahead and try this and see how it works. And I am exceptionally particular about my mascara because I do have long eyelashes. No, they're not like superstar eyelashes, but I do have long curly eyelashes. And if I don't use the right kind of mascara on them, it will literally just clump up and it will look like a huge spider on my eye. I mean, it is awful. That happened to me the other day, and I was actually using like top of the line Benefit mascara, and it was just really bad. So I am exceptionally particular, and yes, I'm going to clean that off my face. Okay. I am exceptionally particular about my mascara because it does clump so easy because my eyelashes are so long and curly. The white was a bust. I mean, literally, this is going in the trash can. I have utterly no use for it. But I do have to admit, for $3, this actually works pretty good. It is 0.34 ounces, and this is exceptionally heavy. I mean, it is really, really heavy. So I'm not disappointed in the black mascara. I am disappointed in the white mascara because I really was wanting to see if the Duo mascara really did more than just putting on mascara. But for $3, I'm happy with that. So yeah, for $3, I'm relatively happy with that. So we're almost done with this makeup. I do have another palette that I'm going to show you from Five Below. Again, this palette was $5. It's from the same company, Color Co. It's a Choose Love, and it is a highlighter palette. I just like that, so I did go ahead and get it. I'm going to put a little bronzer on my face because I'll probably end up putting a baseball cap on. So I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer right here. Not too much, just a little bit. little bit on the corners. The bronzer that I'm using is a Hoola bronzer, Hoola. I just got a sample of it, and it works. It is dark though, so if you do want to try it, it's a really good product, but be careful because it is exceptionally dark. So you have to be careful not to overdo it. I'm going to go in with this one right here. Whew, I threw it on the floor. And again, in case I didn't say it, this palette was also $5. This is very, very heavy. Oh, yeah. This is a heavy highlighter. Like, I don't know how much you guys can really see that, but this is exceptionally heavy. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side heavy because I can't take it off now. Going to highlight my nose. And I always do my chin just a little bit. So again, $5 at Five Below. It's a highlighting palette. That highlight is exceptionally thick, but I do like it. Okay, guys, so the only thing that's really left to do is I'm going to use my setting spray. Let this dry really good. And so here is our look for the Five Below palettes, or two of the Five Below palettes that I had. Both palettes were $5. The mascara was for Five Below. Again, the duo didn't work out. I mean, there is literally nothing in the white tube. I wish that I could show you guys a little bit closer up. But this is just a couple of cheap things and a rosy pink eyeshadow. So, if you have any questions, comments, if you would like me to give you any feedback on Five Below in our area, I will certainly do so. Otherwise, I really, really hope that you enjoyed this makeup. I will be back soon with more to show you. Make sure to like, follow all my channels, everything, so you don't miss out on anything that I post. And thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, so I know in my video from earlier this morning I had mentioned that I really wanted to see how the BH foundation actually held up, you know, in town, around, outside, especially if it was hot. So here is my final review for BH Cosmetics foundation. So I had mentioned before that I was very picky about my foundation strictly because it dries my skin out exceptionally fast. So it is now going on 8:04. I have had this foundation on for about, I'm going to say 7.5 to 8 hours. I put it on around 1 o'clock today, and I just don't care for it. Even if you completely take away the shade that it is, as you can see that I'm definitely getting oily, but then around my chin and around in here, it's starting to dry out, it's starting to bubble, it's starting to crack around my lips. So if dry skin is not an issue that you have with foundation, I would definitely suggest to try this. I think that it's anywhere from $7 to $12 a bottle online at bhcosmetics.com. And, you know, maybe it would work for you. There's a possibility that I could mix this with some moisturizer or even some primer, and it might not do this. But as of right now, I don't particularly care for their foundation. I like everything else that I have tried, just not their foundation. So I had told you earlier that I was going to see how it actually wore going out, doing things, running errands, and this is what I have found out. So within about 7 to 8 hours, it has started to dry out, crack, and my face was already broken out, so I'm not talking about the breakouts. I'm talking about it bubbling and drying out around my breakouts. The Neutrogena does not do that. It will stay exactly the way it is. It will stay a matte finish all day long. So this is kind of my final review of the BH Cosmetics, and if you try it and it works good for you, please let me know. Thanks, guys.